Hey there, toy collector friends and Star Trek fans alike, and in particular fans of physical media. Now, some of you will know, if you're familiar with my channel, that I do have a playlist all about physical media. I'm very enthusiastic about physical media and the sustainability of physical media. Particularly, we have an age now where a lot of good stuff is available because of streaming and various routes such as that. But we've seen several examples, especially latterly, of where some streaming services have dropped some of the stuff that they've been showing. It's no longer available, blah, blah, blah. And this is one of the reasons I think physical media is still so important, because it does enable you, obviously, in the most basic sense, it enables you to access it whenever the hell you want it. You don't have to wait for a streaming service to suddenly start having stuff that you want to watch. But for me, it's a bit more than just that simplicity. For me, it's also about having some high quality physical merchandise that represents the thing that I'm a fan of, for want of a better phrase. And one of those examples, and I've looked at them in various different genres, is Steelbook. Steelbook's a relatively new thing for me. I know they're not relatively new in the scheme of home entertainment, but they're relatively new for me to start collecting them, because I used to go for the gimmicky DVD box sets where there'd usually be some sort of an interesting little gimmick or something that you'd get with some of the collector's editions or limited edition box sets. And I sort of bypassed a lot of Steelbook options. So I'm kind of now on my Steelbook renaissance, if you like. It's probably the wrong word, but I'm going to go with it because it feels like it could be the right word. But yeah, so a Steelbook renaissance is currently underway with me. And I'm in the throes of, everything I try. In most instances, a lot of what I'm trying to get now are Steelbooks. Not in every instance. There are a couple of examples that's not the case. One of them is the classic Doctor Who collection, which comes in a wonderful limited edition box set, which a Steelbook couldn't emulate. The modern series are Steelbooks, and that's fantastic. But the classic, where there's so many more episodes, there's lots of special features and additional stuff, that's a whole different kind of packaging. But today we're looking specifically at what was considered at the time an event series, which was the return of Jean-Luc Picard in his own self-titled series, Star Trek Picard. There was only 3 seasons made, and they have produced 3 Steelbooks, one for each of the seasons. They weren't long seasons, and I've got them all here. And I just sort of wanted to take you through it because they all come with a sort of like a dust cover. Annoyingly, the dust cover type thing is attached at the top, which is really ridiculous, to be honest, because the base is usually what you want to protect. So you almost want to put it back on upside down. So that it can keep it nice and clean and protected on a shelf. But they didn't think like that. They thought, no, we'll put it on this way up and expose the base to whatever. Crazy. So let's take a look at the back. We've got the dust cover thing here. So here you can see everything that's sort of covered on it. Nice to know it's genuinely thrilling as opposed to artificially thrilling, because nothing's worse than an artificially thrilling series, is it? And they do like the use of the word bloody here, so that's good. But yeah, there's it's a nice set of information. There may be some spoilers knocking about, but probably an assumption that anyone that's looking at this has probably already seen it. Although I wouldn't necessarily make that assumption. There was a point in time where certain American shows I would get the box set for because we weren't getting it broadcast over here. So, I hadn't seen stuff that was on there. So that's the dust cover for season 1. And here is the actual cover for season 1. And it is beautiful. So you can see how that works in the lights there. Star Trek Picard season 1. It really is beautiful. And then the back, there's not a lot happening on the back, but it is a beautiful image. And there's the spine where we get lovely gold Star Trek Picard season 1. And if I open it out, please God, don't let anything fall out. That's good. You can see what that looks like in its entirety. and it does look really, really good. And on the inside, all the discs are sort of standard. I was going to say standard Paramount, really. They're just blank silver, and there's a single frame shot of the interior, but there's not really much to report in terms of the inside of this. It is what it is, but it is nevertheless, to all intents and purposes, but I'll come on to where that falls down, really, really nice. And again, something else I really love about these is they're such a space saver compared to the old DVD box sets. What was I thinking? You know, what was I thinking? Anyway, that was Series 1. So we'll pop Series 1 there. And along comes Series 2. Season 2, whatever you want to call it. And here we've got a nice black and white aesthetic. And it's a much more matte than the slightly glossy metallic finish in the previous one. And again, we have the upside down dust cover. And there you can see everything that informs us around the purchasing of this. Could there be even more spoilers? I wonder if Brent Spiner is actually competing with Jeffrey Combs to play the most amount of different characters in Star Trek media. I don't think he's winning, but it's quite the competition. So yes, wonderful John Delancey there, coming up behind Sir Patrick Stewart, as Jean-Luc Picard. And the rear of this is very simple, very plain, just a nice Delta insignia. And then the interior is, again, a single stock photo that runs across the background there. Not much to write home about. I'm not going to pull all the CDs, the DVDs, the Blu-rays out just to have a look at it, because there's not that much to see. So there we have Season 2, which we'll now put there, which leaves us with the final season. And here we have the final season. Again, we've got the reverse cover here. This is very nice because here we have Jean-Luc reunited with much of his, if not all of his original Enterprise D crew. Very, very nice indeed. And here's the upside down dust jacket, again telling you all that you need to know. Over 2.5 hours of special features, you see, and that's what I love. I love that when you get a ton of special features, because those special features, you can't get them when you're streaming. In most cases, you can't get them when you're streaming. So let's take this off. It's still a bit sticky, mercifully, this one. So it's still a bit too sticky, actually. That's the downside with these things. They use some sort of tacky nonsense, which is really annoying, because you don't want that to happen. But you can pretty much rub it off like that. And then it's a bit like using blue tack or the international equivalent. If you use it to rub the rest off, I'll get the rest of it off later. But again, really, really nice. Really nice. There we've got the Star Trek Picard, the final season there. And on the back, we have a wonderfully reminiscent shot, no spoilers, of the USS Enterprise D. Now, it's not the most cohesive set in terms of design and style, and that seems to be the case with I'm just trying to get that last bit of sticky nonsense off, but that seems to be the case with Star Trek, specifically Star Trek Steelbooks. They don't seem to be particularly cohesive and thought through in their design. Got it all. You can celebrate with me. So that for me is a bit frustrating. So you can see there now, if they all had this metallic sheen, I think that would be lovely. If they all had this dark noir tone, I think that would work too. But what we have is a bit of a combination of different styles and different styles and different tones, really. So it's in of itself an inconsistent set. Now, I'm sure if they haven't already, and I don't think they have, because I think I would have hopefully seen it. I don't think I'd get it because I'm quite satisfied in the having of these. But people who know me and who indeed collect stuff will know how annoying this is. Star Trek Picard season 1, Star Trek Picard season 2, Star Trek Picard the final season. I can live with the final season, but why can't we have a consistent spine? Why is it why I mean, they make these specifically, so they can specify what this looks like. This must go through a ton of design meetings. You know, this is not a surprise for people. So why on earth, when we get these, I can live with an inconsistency in terms of design aesthetic across the seasons. But I think it's a little bit cheeky or lazy, more to the point, when they can't, you know, align the spines so we have so at least we have a cohesive set on the shelves. You know, and I know, and it probably sounds like you're probably laughing at me for having a moan about something so utterly unimportant in the scheme of things out in the world at the moment, and you're absolutely right to. But it's just these little things, these little, you know, first world problems that just grate a bit, because we are paying for these. You know, we're paying. Not, I wouldn't say an uber premium, but if you're going for the Steelbook versions, then there is a bit of a premium payment for what you're paying for here. So I think it would be nice if people designing these things took that a bit into account and actually made a point of going, well, actually, look, we're charging them for a Steelbook collectible set. Let's at least make sure that the design is consistent. The Star Trek Picard is almost consistent between these two sets, but it doesn't line up. And the font size is all over the shop. But season 1's an outlier, hasn't got a hope, just doesn't marry up at all. So I don't know what they were thinking. Irksome and very, 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 very irritating. But putting my own ridiculous divarishness to one side, I do think they look really good. The thing with these are, you do want to sort of pick them up, you do want to open them, and it makes you want to watch it. It encourages you to re-engage with the media, and I think that's one of the things with physical media that we don't have with, you know, streaming. With streaming, you can just sort of sit back, fill your face, or get your steps in, however you consume your media, and just flick it on and zip through and see, oh, what do I fancy, or where did I get to on this? For example, this makes it more of an event. You can actually sit, you're sort of going, I'm going to do a rewatch of Star Trek Picard. I'm going to get this off the shelf, I'm going to put it in, I'm going to watch it in my high definition or ultra high definition or whatever it is you've got. I'm going to watch it. Fab. And I'm going to enjoy it because I'm making time for myself. And you know what? If the streaming service goes down, or I don't want to pay that subscription, great. Because again, depending what you subscribe to, 1 month subscription is probably more expensive than one of these. So, you know, I know you get a ton more than one box set. I'm just saying. For me, I do stream stuff. I do subscribe to various streaming services. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying I'm a fan of physical media. I like to have access to the physical media. Anyway, what I'd like to know is there anything out there that for whatever reason hasn't had a physical media release that you would want to see? I'll tell you who's slow about it. Disney and Marvel. So the Disney Plus series, that are sort of from Marvel Studios, the Marvel TV stuff, they're very slow at getting their stuff out. Now, I have done a couple of physical media Steelbook reviews on some of those seasons that have been released, but they haven't all been released. There's still a few that are out there, and I know they're trying to optimize people. I understand the business model. They're trying to optimize people, you know, staying with their service so they can watch it and buy it. But I think most people will stay, as I've just sort of made the point. You can buy one of these. It isn't the vast library you still get, but you get a nice collectible thing that links you to your favorite series or whatever it might be. And I think it would make more money for Disney Plus and Marvel. Surely they're interested in making more money, and because people will buy it. People will buy collectible stuff, high-end collectible stuff for their movie ranges and their TV series, you know. So come on, Disney and Marvel, give us the Steelbooks, give us Agatha all along. That's what we're, you know, I want that. There's other stuff I want, but I want Agatha all along specifically. So yeah, so that's me answering my question. Now you answer, please, in the comments down below. Is there anything that you would love to see get a Steelbook release? And it doesn't have to be a TV series. It could be. It doesn't have to be. It could be a movie. If that's the case, something that you saw a long time ago, or you really love, but it's never been given a sort of remastering or a really great treatment to make you go, wow, this has been shown some love. This has been shown some love, and it's well deserved. Because you do see a lot of, I won't say vintage, because that's unfair, although vintage as well, but a lot of older films that have been digitally remastered. They've been given a new documentary, they've been given this, they've been given that, new special effects, for example, and love has been shown to it. And you might be paying a little bit more than you might have expected for that, but you know you're paying for all the love that was poured into it, because, you know, people have to make a living. I get it. So what hasn't been made, what hasn't been released, what hasn't been produced that you would love to see? I'm really curious. I'm really curious. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for sticking with me for the last 15-16 minutes or so. I have been the Triple TC, that's the Time Travelling Toy Collector. You've been a fantastic companion on this rambling odyssey of considerations around physical media. So thank you for sticking with me throughout that. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel. There's loads of other stuff. It's not just me wittering on about Blu-ray collections. I promise you. I mean, there is a bit of that, but it's not just that. So please have a look. Check out some other videos. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, as I say, please do so. It really helps me out and helps me get to my next subscriber milestone. Or at the very least, if you could drop a like to the video, that would be absolutely amazing. Either way, I'm just really glad that you stayed with me for the whole of this video, and I very much look forward to seeing you in a future one. It just remains for me to say that things of beauty really are toy adjacent forever. Take care. Bye-bye for now.